Let's go. It's your man Mike Bowens coming to you once again, live and direct. Listen, when I tell you that I'm pumped up, when I tell you that I'm charged up, that's an understatement. I'm getting ready to drop bombs on your head. Boom, 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 boom. This message is entitled, Become an Addicted Learner. Become an addicted learner. Ooh, this is going to separate people right here. Because if you're talking about spiritual things, oftentimes a lot of people think that if someone just fast and pray, that God is just going to open up the windows of heaven. He's going to bless them. Everything in their life is going to work out, but just fasting and praying. Right? Let me get the oil and pour a whole bottle on you and say, okay, now you go out there and, you want to be a pilot. You go there, they're going to say, where's your credentials? Where'd you go to school at? Oh no, Mike Bowens anointed me, put the oil on me, told me to fast and pray, so now I can fly a plane. No. You're going for a job, but you're not qualified for it. How do you get it? See, there is a spiritual aspect to life. There's a practical aspect to life. And then some people on the flip side, they're just so practical that they don't involve any spiritual part. For example, they have a business. They want it to get off the ground, but they don't pray to God for guidance. They have the business plan. They have a customer base that they're looking for, but the business won't get off the ground because they don't tithe and give offerings to God. You see how it works together? Spiritual plus the practical. You must employ the two. And so, in order to really succeed in life, you must become an addicted learner. Did you know that a person like Warren Buffett, I'm not talking, he has the practical side down, but not the spiritual side down. So, although he looked like he's winning overall, spiritually he is not, which is the most important, because he leaves this earth today or tomorrow. He's lost for eternity. However, I do want to highlight his practical side because it does have some value to it, some use to it. It's noteworthy that he reads up to 5 hours a day. 5 hours a day. Whereas most people, once they graduate high school, don't read a book a year. Just like your body needs exercise, just like your lungs need exercise, breathing in, breathing out, just like you must drink a certain amount of water every day, your brain needs to be exercised. Your brain needs understanding. Your brain needs to sweat. Your brain needs a good workout. And by watching television, see, there's even a study on the most successful people in the world. They watch the least amount of television in the world, while people who are least successful watch the most television. The people who are successful, who are on television and who created the shows, watch less television than the people who watch it. That's a bomb going off. Boom! Because they're busy creating for you to watch it. And by you watching it constantly, you're killing your time. There's 24 hours in a day. How do you use your time? How do you get knowledge? How do you expand upon who you are? And the only way to do that is to constantly educate yourself, like you're doing right now with a message like this. Or even if you don't sit down and read a book, there's audio books. And by listening to an audio book, you make your car a university. You sit in your car and you play a message by Mike Bowens Motivates, or whoever you like to listen to. You play an audio book by somebody you like to listen to, and you let it educate you while you're driving from one destination to the next. And your subconscious mind is taking notes. Taking notes. Listen, sometimes in a week, I can listen to 3 to 4, maybe 5 books in a week. And somebody like, you can't retain all that information. The devil is a liar. I sure can, and I sure do. And my learning curve is going up so fast is so high. It's like I'm beyond a bachelor's, beyond a master's, beyond a doctorate's in what I'm learning on a daily basis. Beyond that. And so I'm able to take these lessons, even if it's one lesson that I learned for listening to a book for an hour or 2 hours, even if it's one lesson, I can take that one lesson and apply it to my life. In my marriage, I learned something from listening to an audiobook about organization and how to schedule time for romance and time for family. Because if you're busy like I am and you run multiple businesses and you're in ministry, you have to have a plan. You can't just hope to have family time. You can't just hope to have time with your spouse. It must be planned. It must be organized. So when people say, I just want to be spontaneous, well, you better be a spontaneous planner. Because by doing so, you're now making time for love. By doing so, you're making time for your family. And so that's just one of the tools and principles that I learned from a book that I listened to while I was driving in my car, going to a place that I was going anyway. And so when you become an addicted learner, you learn what the greats have done before you. Because like I said in another video, there's nothing new under the sun. What has been, what shall be, has been before. And so you cut off the time out of your life that it would take you to achieve something. You do it in less time than what it took somebody else to do, because you learned lessons that you didn't have to go through. That's a bomb. I'm gonna let you drop that bomb. So sometimes you're trying to figure out stuff yourself and you seem stuck. But when you become an addicted learner, you're constantly reading, you're constantly listening to podcasts, you're constantly listening to motivational seminars, you're constantly listening to preaching, you're constantly listening to audiobooks, because you're educating your mind. And you can never go higher than what you think. You will never rise higher than the information that you take in. So because I serve the Most High, I should live the Most High. That's a bomb going off. I should not live the most low, because I serve the Most High. But the difference between a person who is mega successful, and barely making it is the amount of information that they have and how they apply it to their life. What you don't know does hurt you. And what you do know does propel your life to a higher place of living that's sustainable. Not by accident, but it's sustainable by the knowledge that you have attained. So, as you move forward, I encourage you to become an addicted learner, a person who's constantly learning and applying what they have learned to their life. And you will see yourself move from level to level to level to level. Success to success to success. There was a major point in my life where I was struggling so bad financially. I went to the library and I got every book on finances that I possibly could. And I sat there for hours. I knew everybody in the library. They knew me. I was unemployed. I just ain't have no money. I couldn't buy groceries. This is my first year of marriage. And then I started to learn the principles of finance, how money works. Because I read every book that I possibly can in a 12-month period on finances. I never stopped. I just continued. And I started to see the correlation. I started to see principles in every book. And I started to put it together. I had my notepad and my pen, and I would take notes. And I said, okay, this is what this person is saying. This is what this person is saying. This is what this person is saying. And I see the main point or the main theme in every book. Before I knew it, I was able to get employment, purchase a home, rent out to a tenant, and not too long after that, able to start my first business. And from there, I was able to prosper and grow, and then move on to other businesses. And that was just the beginning. And from learning those principles, I was able to take that information plus what I have learned and put it all together, which brought me to where I am now, which I'm launching 4 or 5 businesses at one time for 2020. I know people are like, oh, you should just focus on one at a time. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. And so the things that I'm doing are going to run themselves. It's not going to take me doing the day-to-day every day to run them. But that's a whole different conversation. Become an addicted learner. And once you understand how things operate, then you can continue to do it at will over and over and over again. Hope this message inspire and encourage somebody to take the limits off, see God in a whole different way, and become a person who constantly learns and grows and expands. Until next time, it's your man Mike Bones. I'm signing off saying, be blessed.